What's up, everybody?
Hey, how's it going?
So a lot of you guys have been asking just who we are and our credentials and stuff, and
We don't have any.
we have nothing. We are
Okay.
talentless hacks. But aside from that, we thought we'd just sort of tell you kind of our background and how we got into storytelling and stuff. So this is that. So me and Austin met in high school. Back then, I made movies with a friend or two, and I was into kind of software and stuff. But it wasn't until I came back from college one semester, and I had started getting into animation, and I just asked him and another friend of ours, was like, you want to just make a cartoon?
Of course, at the time, we didn't know what that really meant, but who doesn't like hanging out with your best friends and goofing around working on stuff? So it was like that whole summer after he came back from college that me and
A
Adam...
whole semester and summer. You were still in school.
I was still in school. So it was that amount of time, a whole semester and a summer, that we just continued to work on this project of making a cartoon and fleshing out characters and worlds and stories, and it was just amazing. It was super fun, and it was crazy awesome to do. None of it ever came to fruition, but it's something we actually still work on today. It's something we still enjoy talking about every now and again.
So that leads into that summer. I had actually learned of a really small film festival in Illinois that was just like kind of a joke. It was put on by a credit union. But we were just like, yeah, sure. And I'd already started learning some stuff about like After Effects and kind of color correction and stuff like that. So I was like, we should make this movie. And he went off to camp. So then me and my friend Adam, we just wrote and pretty much shot this film within 2 days' time. We actually got like other people to come help out and stuff. And it's an abysmal film that we don't show to people.
It's absolutely terrible, and I blame most of the reason why it's bad is that I wasn't there to help with it.
Rude. It's actually 4 minutes of unwatchableness. But then we submitted to that festival, and it's so small, or at least it was at that time, that we got in the top 20, and we went to it, and they screened it on this big screen, and it was awesome and cool. So then that kind of led into that following, where personally I kept learning a lot about software and animation, and you went off to college then. He's lame. But that
Yikes.
winter, our friend Adam came back because he'd moved away, and he was like, we should make another movie. And I was just like, yes, because I had already been learning a lot of stuff about just effects and whatnot.
I wasn't there to make the first film, so I was like, I want to keep these guys in check, make sure they don't mess up again.
So we made this film, Do or Die. It's just a short, kind of goofy trailer, but we had a lot of fun with it. And we had a friend who had a Canon 7D who shot it for us. It was just it was so much more quality than we ever imagined it would be, because before that we shot everything on just camcorder kind of stuff.
Still using tapes. That's the kind of equipment we were working with back in the day.
After we made that, we got really excited. We were just like, this is so much fun. So then coming back around the next year of that film festival, now we should really do a film, because a lot of these other films were the same kind of camcorder. Some were shot on iPhones. A lot of them were just abysmal in stories as well as ours. And so okay, now we know how to make a film look good. There's no way we can lose. And I had been learning CG effects and just I was so pumped that no matter what we make, as long as it looked good, we were gonna win hands down. So then we made Briefcase.
After we made Briefcase, we pretty much made the pact that if we could tell a story and the movie title could have a pun in it, it was it had to happen at that point.
It was a good idea.
Yeah.
That's why it's called Critical Hit. So we made Briefcase, and we didn't win anything. We weren't even nominated for anything, and we were so upset because we came so confident. We were just to the point of arrogance. We were so
how could we lose?
How could we lose?
Yeah. And
we
got trashed.
We got trashed. We were just so confused and so distraught, and just there's a lot of stuff in it. The shots are kind of overexposed, whatever. The acting on some parts isn't great. Sure, I thought compared to a lot of films, I was just I didn't know why. So I actually emailed the judges, and I was like, can we have a critique? Because I really just don't know why we didn't do as well as we thought we did. They thankfully emailed me back and said that it was really confusing, it was hard to follow, and just you couldn't get behind the story.
Bam! Story!
That was kind of a switch. I was like, okay, now let's learn about story. He had come back from college at that point, so we were both working at this deli, and we always had lunch every day. We'd talk for 4 hours, and just it quickly turned into stories. And
There's two topics me and Adam always talked about. It was either stories or girls. But I mean,
Also
what
true.
else is there? What else is there to really talk about? Let's be honest. It just kept going to where we just kept talking more and more about story, and then Adam even went out and he bought a couple books about storytelling, and that's where we got the Robert McKee story book that I read. It was once I read that book that I think it really solidified in me that I was like, I want to tell a story. I want to entertain people. I want people to laugh. I want people to cry. I want to do that. I want to be that guy that can tell that kind of story.
And at that same time, I had started formal training in character animation. And animation very much is, like, everything's built around story, everything's built around character, and that's something they really kind of made it clear to us at the school I went to. So coming from that perspective, and also now coming from a structural perspective, like, we felt like our understanding of stories was just becoming more and more developed. I mean, as far as
Two
our
20-year-old
ideas,
kids can
like,
figure out how to tell a story.
who knows if we actually do, but
So then, film festival coming back around, same exact one. We had to do it. We had to redeem ourselves for not producing something that even got nominated. So then the movie, oh jeez, I can't even remember the title now. It's
Newborn Love.
Newborn Love, right?
Check it out right here.
Yeah, you have to look at the spelling of it to get the joke.
It's one of our most stretched wordplays.
So me and Adam went into this, and it was all about story and structure, and how do we set up characters, a conflict, a resolution, a climax, all this by the books. We wanted to hit every part of storytelling in 4 minutes, and
That's also a small thing in the festival. It was a 4-minute film. Like, it couldn't be over 4 minutes, so that's context.
we wanted to pack all of those things into a 4-minute film and tell just a solid story, and that's what we did.
Or attempted to do. What was great, and unfortunate for him, he couldn't come to the showing, but, like, the audience really got into it, and, like, all of our jokes just read immediately, and just, like, it felt so good to have all these people just, like, we just, like, killed them, to be honest. It was just, they were laughing so hard, it felt so good, and we walked away with that being, we didn't fully win anything, but it didn't matter at that point, because we saw the audience's reaction. But we were, in fact, we were nominated for Best Acting, we were nominated for Best Screenplay, and we were nominated for Best Picture, actually, which put our film in the top 5 films of, I think it was like 100 films or so that year. And it just, like, that was it. We were like, okay, story is top tier. Like, sure, effects are cool, and if it looks cinematic, that's great, but if you don't have a story, who cares?
That's where me and Adam base pretty much all of our conversations now when we go see films or movies or stories or anything like that. We always break it down to what was the story. So then we saw Frozen, and when we came out of there, it wasn't what we thought it was going to be. And then we were really surprised that so many people really did like it.
We have these conversations after every film, so when we were talking with each other about Frozen, we were just like, we should kind of upload this to try to see if people agree or not. And then we didn't expect you people to come, but I mean, now you're here, and we really like it and enjoy it, and it's cool to have these conversations.
So yeah, other than us being, talentless hacks and whatnot, and not really knowing anything about what we're saying, we do really enjoy this, and we are excited to keep doing it. We are even more so excited to keep talking to you guys about what you think about storytelling, because storytelling is not something one person can think up and perfect. It's something that we all have to, it's like collaborative, and Adam's phone's got a ring. And just working together to figure out what it is people like when they listen to a story, when they get told a story.
That's it. That's great. So, yeah, you guys should make critical hits of our movies. Just Newborn Love, Briefcase, and that. It's not very good.
Got one movie under our belt.
Got one movie. Yeah. All right.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you guys later.